creep.
You wanna get nuts? Come on! Let's get nuts.
Welcome back to the Undead Basement, everyone, and if you saw the thumbnail to this video, y'all know exactly what time it is.
It's time for molecular transmutation.
Guys,
Right.
it's Morphin Time! It's Morphin Time!
It's Morphin Time!
It's Morphin Time! It's Morphin Time!
It's Morphin Time!
Those of you who know me, or have at least talked to me in the last 5 days because I won't shut up about it, I'm a huge fan of what's known as tokusatsu. If you don't know what that means, tokusatsu, literally translated as special filming, is basically any TV show or movie made in Japan that makes heavy use of special effects, largely applied to kaiju movies such as Godzilla or Gamera, or in today's case, superhero shows such as the Ultra series, Kamen Rider, Metal Heroes, or in today's special case, Super Sentai, or even more specifically, its American counterpart, Power Rangers.
Welcome to my nightmare. Now, the ultimate adventure begins. Hi, honey. I'm home.
You garlic-sucking dingo brain!
We're the Power Rangers.
Where's my autograph?
I've been a huge Power Rangers fan since I was a kid, going all the way back to the original Mighty Morphin days and seeing every season all the way up to about SPD, with my favorite season being Time Force. Why? 2 words. Quantum Ranger.
Your time's up!
Now, while the series as a whole has definitely evolved past the original series, there's no question that the Mighty Morphin era still has the biggest foothold in pop culture. I mean, the original series was pretty inescapable in its original run on TV, so it makes sense that less people remember the death of the Pink Galaxy Ranger and more people remember Hip Hop Keto.
And that's Hip Hop Keto.
And probably the biggest proof of the original show's popularity is the time they hit the big screen with 1995's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie.
They will face their greatest adventure. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. The power is on. Next summer.
Released theatrically during seasons 2 and 3 of the original show, the movie sees our favorite teenagers with attitude go up against the new big bad known as Ivan Ooze, where they lose their original powers and must go on a quest on another planet to find new ones, while Ivan takes over Angel Grove with the most deadliest of weapon, early 90s CG.
Crane sword locked on! Checking out.
Ninja battle mode, now!
Typical of most movies from back in the day of this type, such as the original Ninja Turtles movie, it was a big hit at the box office and with the target audience. However, it was definitely not well liked by parents and critics who didn't see it as much more than just a big toy commercial. However, over the years, even fans haven't exactly been kind to this movie, deriding it for being nothing more than a shallow, non-canon slog loaded with bad CG that most fans only really remember fondly because of nostalgia. And it prompts the question, at least to me, was this movie really that bad? Well, let's just move on and see if we can find that out. Our main heroes consist of Jason David Frank as Tommy, Amy Jo Johnson as Kimberly, Steve Cardenas as Rocky, David Yost as Billy, Karen Ashley as Aisha, and none other than Vash the Stampede and Ichigo Kurosaki himself, Johnny Young Bosch as Adam. By the time this movie was made, 3 of our original Rangers, Jason, Zach, and Trini, had left the show due to terrible pay from the studio and were replaced by Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. And while the performances were fine, there was definitely a disconnect between them and the cast members that were still there in the show. But thankfully for the movie, things are a little bit better, and you can definitely see them as a more cohesive team of friends. But still, our hero cast is mainly carried by our 3 original cast members, with Jason David Frank being himself, and David Yost providing some rather cheesy and corny one-liners.
Use, you lose.
And now we get to our villains, or really just villain, with Paul Freeman playing Ivan Ooze, and absolutely hamming it up with glee. Paul Freeman just steals the entire movie. He just seems like he's having a ball playing Ivan Ooze. I mean, he's not exactly the greatest villain here, but certainly he is entertaining. He gets a lot of funny lines, and you just have fun watching him on screen.
What is that odious stench? Smells like teenagers.
Now, our villains from the show also make appearances. Rita Repulsa, Lord Zed, Goldar, and some random character they created just for this movie named Mordant. And they're definitely there. I wish there was more I could say, but really they're just there. Rita and Zed only really amount to a cameo until they're sidelined for Ivan Ooze for the rest of the movie. And Goldar and whatever the hell this new character is are just sort of second fiddle to Ivan Ooze while the movie goes on. There's really no reason for them to be there at all. Alpha and Zordon also appear in this movie, and again, they're pretty much just sidelined, with Zordon being on the verge of death for most of the movie, with a weird human form that is never seen again. There's also a new character named Dulcia, played by Gabrielle Fitzpatrick, who gives our heroes their new ninjetti powers. But the only really interesting thing I could say about her is that her actress had to leave due to health reasons, and was replaced by Mariska Hargitay, of Law and Order. But she eventually got fired, and Fitzpatrick returned when she recovered. Now on to the special effects. Oh boy. To start with the positives, the makeup and suit effects actually do look really good, with the new movie suits looking absolutely amazing, even if they were a bit bulky to film in. However, everything of course comes down to the CG, which is absolutely horrible. Even for the time that this movie was made in, it looks terrible. You know your movie's CG is bad when Lawnmower Man looked better than this, and that came out 2 years earlier. The most egregious use of CG in this movie is of course the entire ending climax with all the Zords fighting. I will say this. It's certainly a better giant robot fight than anything you'll see in the Bayformers movies. Oh god, thank God for Pacific Rim for making giant robots cool again. Now the actual hand-to-hand fight scenes in this movie are actually decently choreographed. However, you will notice there's only really one fight scene where they're actually in their original suits due to the aforementioned bulkiness. The suits were really heavy to maneuver in and apparently added 5 pounds to the stunt actors. Definitely does not sound fun at all. Those special props go to Johnny Young Bosch for doing most of his own stunts for the movie. That dude is multi-talented. Love you, Johnny. Now, without a doubt, the biggest positive for this movie goes to the soundtrack. Now, the musical score is fine. There's some decent tracks here and there, but really what matters is the licensed soundtrack, which features the likes of Red Hot Chili Peppers, Van Halen, and without a doubt, the best version of the original theme song. Play what you can, Daniel. Come back to the original question posed at the beginning of this video. Was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie really that bad? Meh. The highest compliment I can pay this movie is that it's watchable. But really, it's in the same way that Space Jam is watchable. It's got some nostalgic fun, but really not much more than that. There's some things to keep you entertained in this movie, but really you'd be better off watching the show. It's a much more rewarding experience. Though this is certainly a better Power Rangers movie than Turbo. Someday, friends. Someday. That said, if you do want to add this movie to your collection, there is a DVD, a Blu-ray, and a Laserdisc version of this movie. But I'm stuck with this VHS that I've had since I was 4. Fuck, I'm old. That's all for today's episode, everyone. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. I'm JD, and I will see you next time, everyone.